which America could do no wrong. America and Pakistan were buddies. From 1974 till 1989, the Americans turned a blind eye to Pakistan's budding nuclear program as they needed Pakistan to do more important things. 1988, they leave the region. 1989, they suddenly wake up and think it's time now to stop Pakistan's nuclear program. American slap in the face comes at a time when the military itself is going through a very interesting sociological transformation. And that transformation has to do with the recruiting patterns. The tradition was that officers of the Pakistani armed forces would come from the urban middle or upper middle classes or from the rural landed elites. Example, bureaucrats. One son would go into the army, one son would look after the lands, one son would go into the civil service. By the 1970s and 80s, more and more lower middle class and lower middle class people, sons were being taken into the army because the old elites were no longer supplying their sons. Traditionally, the lower middle classes are always the most vulnerable, and they tend to be very conservative. So, in the midst of an anti-American narrative which has prevailed for like 12, 13 years, America comes back. You're either with us or you're against us. That's the rhetoric. Obviously, Pakistan can't afford to be against America. For the last 10 years, Pakistan has been with America and played a double game. The Pakistani military has actually used anti-American in the army and in civil society as a leverage, as a lever to extract more concessions from America and to deny radical concessions that America is demanding. The argument is, how can we have a strategic relationship with you when the people of both countries distrust each other? We are beginning to challenge the narratives of nationalism that the military has done us. And that is happening in Pakistan for the first time. And again, the electronic media is slowly inching its way towards finding a middle ground. And this is the heartening news.